Assalamu alaikum, dear friends, how are you? The life we are living has been given and gifted to us only for one time, and it will be never ever given to us again at all. In that way, the life is precious, the life is priceless. It is extremely important that we live our life in a careful, cautious, and of course, in the best possible manner so that we enjoy our life on the one hand without hurting and creating troubles for other people. Rather, while living a good and great life, it will be good to contribute a little, if not more, for the other people as well. Let's look upon the well-being, the emotional well-being, the mental well-being, which is of course which must be our number one priority in the lifetime. And now go toward it. While we are discussing it, as this is the topic of our discussion today, there are four segments of it. There are four parts of it. And the first part says, what is this first part? It says self-awareness. We need to make us aware about ourselves in a better way. So that is the number one thing. Self-awareness. It comprises the 3 points in it. First point says mindfulness, mean practice deep breathing, practice meditation, or and journaling for another purpose. Mindfulness says that we need to focus on, we need to practice the deep breathing on the one hand, and of course meditation on the other hand. Then after that, journaling is something very good, because what is journaling? Writing down our thoughts and our emotions. We don't need to preserve it. It can be destroyed immediately after writing, but it gives us a lot. It provides us with the catharsis and it brings clarity. So it processes our emotions for the purpose of better release. So instead of releasing our emotions, releasing our thoughts in an unhealthy way. So that is a very good thing. Instead of talking to the people here and there unnecessarily, which does create many of the problems, journaling is the finest way. Writing down our thoughts and emotions as frequently as it is possible. So that is the number one. The number two says identify values and strengths. What is this? Recognize what drives you and what you are good at. Recognize what drives you and what you are good at. So that is identify values and identification of the strengths as well. Number 3 point under the heading of self-awareness. It is emotional intelligence. Develop self-awareness, develop empathy and effective communication. So that is emotional intelligence. Generally speaking, as far the emotional intelligence is concerned, it is knowing what are my emotions and what emotions do I experience frequently, what emotion am I experiencing at the moment, it is positive or negative, how to cope this emotion. That is emotional intelligence. So it was the part 1 out of the 4 parts. The first part 1, self awareness. Now the part 2 says the positive relationships. Part 2 says positive relationships. Number 1, nurture connection. Invest in meaningful relationships with the family, with the neighbors, with the colleagues, with the friends, with the strangers as well. So that is nurture connection. The second point, healthy communication. Healthy communication, not the unhealthy communication. Practice active listening, practice assertiveness, and practice practice conflict resolution as well. We need to practice healthy, we need to practice active listening, assertiveness, and effective communication. Point number 3 says build a sportive network. Surround yourself with the positive, with the sportive people. Surround yourself with the positive, with the sportive people. Now the part 3 of this says purpose and meaning. Purpose, bring meaning to your life. How? Discover your passion. Number 1 point says discover your passion. Align your actions with your values, with your aspirations. So that is discover your passions. Number 2, set clear goals and set purpose in the life. Setting of clear goals and setting the purpose in the life. Whatever I do, it should not be without a purpose. It should not be without a meaning. It is important that my life should be organized one. It shouldn't be cluttered at all. The things should not be done without a purpose. Everything I do, I must need to know whether it will contribute something for the achievement of my short term goals, my mid term goals, and best of all, my long term goals. If it does contribute something for the achievement of my mid term, my long term goal, it does mean that there is a purpose and it is being done under the goals of mine. So the goals should be under the prime purpose of my life. If at all one thing is the goals and there is one thing which is superior than the goal, all of my goals, my targets come under that, and this is called the purpose in the life. So these were then it is then it is find meanings in challenges. Find meanings in challenges. View obstacles as opportunities for growth. That is also called the growth mindset. If at all every situation we try to convert every situation into our advantage. If at all we want to gain learning, if at all we want to become stronger out of every experience, that is stronger for the purpose of a better living, for the purpose of achieving my own goals. So that is a growth mindset, trying to take advantage out of every situation, even the hurdles and obstacles. Now the fourth and the last part says resilience and self-care. How can we how can we become resilient? How can we take care of ourselves? Number one, prioritize self care. Make time for activities that nourish your mind and spirit, that nourish your body as well. So, make time for the activities that nourish our spirit, our mind, and our body. So, that will be called self care. Number two, develop coping skills. How? Learn healthy ways to manage stress, to manage anxiety, or manage the difficult emotions. Develop coping skills because everything else is not so cozy, is not so palatable. So I need to be learn how to be able to manage myself in a better way. Number three, practice gratitude and practice self-compassion. Practice gratitude, practice self-compassion. Focus on the positive, focus on the positive aspects of your life. That is how we can develop the attitude of gratitude. Even the smaller thing should not be ignored at all, should not be taken for granted. We need to identify what positive, what the good lies in my life. So we need to become grateful about it. We need to protect it. We need to make an optimal, we need to take the optimal advantage of it for ourselves, for our loved ones, and even for the general public. So we don't need to ignore anything else which is good one in my life, because if at all I ignore it, because if at all I take it for granted, what is going to happen then? I will be lost forever. So that particular gift of Allah might be snatched from me at any moment of life. So then I will start thinking, repenting and regretting I should have made a better use of it. So that is focus on the positive, focus on the positive, and practice gratitude and practice self compassion. So these were the four parts of emotional and mental well being. Now there is a bottom line. The bottom line says, by focusing on these four pillars, you will cultivate a strong foundation for mental and emotional well being that will support you through life's challenges and help you thrive. By focusing on these four pillars, you will cultivate a strong foundation for mental and emotional well being that will support you through life's challenges and will help you live better, will help you thrive as well. That was a very useful, very beneficial discussion. Indeed, each one of us need to work for our emotional, our mental well-being. It will not be an exaggeration at all if I say that it must be taken as the number one priority in my life, in your life, so that we are better able to live, so that we don't have to repent and regret later on. That's all from me at the moment.